the other person could have, let's say, a red mark or a scratch. Hello. Good morning. This is David Kohlmeyer, the Problem Solver. How are you today, everybody? It's 11 o'clock on Tuesday. It is the Problem Solver Time podcast, video show, audio for listeners, video, whoever's watching out there, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, whatever social media we got out there, we are on. Today is the Problem Solver, and today we're going to be talking about problems, how to solve some problems. Special person as a guest today coming in to speak about how they're helping people in the community in Las Vegas. I still got a little bit of my voice a little raspy here. The cold weather, I don't know, it is maybe about 70 degrees or something in Las Vegas. I know it's freezing cold in some other places. So anyway, I'm here today to talk about solving some problems. And again, I'm David Kohlmeyer. Give you a little bit of background on myself. I happen to be a retired police officer. I served 17 years in law enforcement. I was a New York City police officer for approximately 4 years. I was down there for 9/11. Also came out here after 9/11. I became a police officer in Henderson for 13 years. So a total of 17 years in law enforcement. I survived it, and basically for the last 6 years, I've been working with law firms and nonprofits to basically help people in the community in order to basically, make Las Vegas, Clark County, a better community. So I started the Problem Solver in regards to the podcast to basically help people to do something to give back to the community and to share how we can solve different problems. Most people do not know how to solve certain problems. They don't know how to deal with the police or with their attorneys. And the bottom line is that we're going to do everything possible to help. So with that basically being said, hold on one second. Can you just tell her there's a camera there? So long story short, I'm sorry about that, little technical difficulties. But the bottom line is that a lot of people do not interact with the police or attorneys or different community leaders. So I wanted to basically use my experience, my background, and resources to basically help people in general. So today, again, the Problem Solver I wanted to share with you is that we also have a live app where basically if you want to listen while you're driving in the car, it's called Go Live Vegas app. And that is a downloadable app in regards to downloading it and listening in. There's several different shows on Go Live Vegas. And this is basically a downloadable app that you can use to listen in anytime Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. With that being said, we also have a Problem Solver app, which is a progressive web app. You don't need to download this one. There's going to be a QR code, and this is the app basically on the screen where basically if you have a problem, you can go to a legal issue or problem, and you could submit a request that need some help, specifically whatever the problem may be, whether it's legal or a problem with your neighbor or whatever the situation may be. There's different tabs that you could use to basically put in your problem. And we, myself, and others that are basically solving problems and helping people will get back to you and see what we can do to basically help you out. Now, I am not an attorney. Like I said before, I'm a retired police officer helping people, but I do have certain lawyers in town that I've vetted, that I like, that I trust. And if you're calling me or messaging me that you need help with a particular problem, as I was driving here, I've got 3 private messages. One was, hey, I need a great real estate attorney, and I need an attorney that would help me with a real estate contract. Or someone just messaged me saying that they were arrested and they needed some help. And another person said that they basically got into a car accident. So I'm going to basically refer you to people that I trust, that I know that will do a good job for you. And I will also follow through to make sure that the attorney or anyone that I'm working with, I'm going to follow up and say, hey, are you taking care of that person? So I take it very personable, and I want to be able to solve the problem, to help people in general. I want people to say, Dave, thank you so much for your help. Again, this is a free service that I'm basically doing to help people. And at the end of the day, I feel good knowing I've helped people in the community. So again, we talked about the Go Live Vegas app. We talked about the ProblemSolver.Vegas, which is an app where you can add to your home screen and you can partake in problem solving, the podcast, and there's some merchandise, and there'll be different events that are coming as well. We've been doing this now for about 2 months right now, and things are going really well with a lot of messages, private messages, phone calls, text messages at 3 o'clock in the morning, you name it. So I've been doing a lot to help people, and I feel good about it. So I'm glad that you guys are tuning in and listening in as well. Anyone that has any specific questions, you can call in for today's show. Where the number is going to be 329-6947. That's 329-6947. There's also an 800 number if you're calling from another state or out of the country. 855-502-4321. That's 855-502-4321. It's on your screen right now if you want to call in any questions for myself or for the guest that I'm having here today. Also, for the Problem Solver, we do have a Facebook page. If we go to that page, we can look at it. I'm not sure if we can go to it, but on that page in general, there's different things that I'm posting as well. Actually, if you go to the, now that I realize this as well, let's see if this works here. But if you go to social media on the actual Problem Solver app, it should connect you to the Problem Solver page. And there we go. And you can see I'm on the screen live there as well, talking away. And so there's the picture of me, lovely me. And then we have the guests that are coming along, coming on the show. And then we have previous guests that are popping up here, some different nonprofits. Here we go. So in this particular spot on the page as well, which is on the app as well, there's going to be different nonprofits that basically are helping out. And all these different nonprofits that are working in the community to basically help solve problems as well, including myself. And I just want to share their information, especially during these economic times, which I'm hoping that, this week seems very promising that Vegas is, pulling out. A lot of people basically walking around the Strip, and things are kind of getting back to a little bit of being a little bit more normal these days. But all these different nonprofits here that basically are trying to help people, whether it's food distribution, COVID-19 vaccinations. We have this Cesar Chavez pop-up day, food pop-up family resource center, Saturday, March 27th, 2 to 4. Virtual job fair that we talked about in the last podcast, basically March 25th, 10 to 2. No reason why you can't get a job. There's a job fair with over 50 employers. And homework help for the kids, tutoring on Thursdays, fair housing, you name it, any problems with, with where you're living right now. This one says, are you at risk of being evicted, for non-payment, stuff like that. We also have different nonprofits for, this one says, free services and resources for clothing, birth certificate recovery, meals, bus passes, showers, you name it, it's here. You want to help somebody, all you got to do is go to my page, and we will basically be able to get people some help. A lot of people are asking me this week, basically, like, what problems have I solved? It's something different, unusual, basically, to be a problem solver. And I wanted to share some of the things in general that I worked on this week, which is something that's kind of interesting because people, these are unusual problems that people have, and a lot of times I'm referring to different places. I'll just jump right in. The first one was an immigration issue. Basically, someone had a green card. They wanted to actually renew the green card. And I said, listen, I don't know nothing about that. I'm not an immigration attorney, so why don't you get with an immigration attorney, which I referred them to. Over actually, the Richard Harris Law Firm had an immigration attorney and said, instead of renewing your green card, why don't you get your citizenship? And it was a little bit of extra more money in general to get your citizenship, and they were explaining why. But this person felt that, hey, I'll just renew my green card. So it seemed like there was an opportunity for them to apply for this citizenship, and again, without them seeking legal help, they wouldn't have known this in general. So I was glad to refer that person over to an attorney that I know and trust. The other one was a neighbor dispute referred to Clark County Justice Mediation Center. Most people do not know there is free mediation from Clark County Justice Mediation Center. Any type of problem that you have, whether it's a neighbor dispute, whatever the situation is, normally you will give the name and the number of the person for both parties, and they will make the contact, and it could be any type of civil agreement as well. And then at the end of the mediation, there will be an agreement that you guys can both sign, which actually can be upheld in court. So if you go to civil court and say, look, I signed this contract, that we went through mediation and it was free, we agreed on this deal, here's our signature, and basically you can basically use this as a legal contract. So I totally recommend the Clark County Justice Center mediation. I was trained for mediation years ago as a police officer in Henderson, and I totally recommend this program. Most people don't know about it. Someone actually went to a barber, and they basically, maybe it was a hair salon, and I guess they were inside, I don't know what the machinery is called, but basically they were dyeing the hair or something like that, and they got burned. They were left there a little too long in general, and they got burned, and it's a first-degree burn. They went to the hospital, basically medical treatment and so on. I'm kind of nervous because when I saw the way the pictures looked, it kind of, if that was me in general, I'd be really upset. Again, the person was like, hey, I don't need a lawyer. I don't need an attorney in general, I don't think. But then when they said they went to the hospital, I said, look, you're going to get a medical bill for for maybe $3,000 to $5,000. Do you have insurance? The person said no. So I was kind of concerned that they were going to have a medical bill, basically, that they were going to have to pay, that they'd be responsible for, where at least that you want to get the hair salon that has insurance, hopefully, have insurance that you basically can have their insurance company pay for your medical bill. And most people don't think that there's going to be it's going to be $3,000 to $5,000 to go into the emergency room. So I did refer them to an attorney basically to get some help as well. I mean, it is an injury claim, and again, there's nothing wrong with having an attorney to represent you, especially if you're going to get a bill for $3,000 to $5,000 for showing up to a hospital for a first-degree burn. Someone was in need of clothes. Basically, some of their clothes were, thrown out by family members. They need some clothes. I referred them over to Novum U, who's a nonprofit helping people in the community, and then also United Way, which is 211. Again, 211 is a referral service that most people don't know about this one as well, but United Way basically helps people, and every single week they know the nonprofits that are helping people in general. So again, 211 is just like 311 or 411 or 911, stuff like that. So that is an important number to remember and to pass on to other people. I had someone else's father passed away. They needed a probate attorney to help them sell their home. They didn't understand the probate process, getting a death certificate, so I referred them over to a probate a lawyer that basically I work with as well. I had someone that had a suspended driver's license from a California ticket. A lot of people from California, they're coming into town, but they don't have a California attorney to help with the ticket, and I think it was Bakersfield. And I referred them over to Ticket Busters, which has attorneys basically in other states as well. They have a network of attorneys, which I love, and they basically help this person acquire an attorney that would help them in California to basically help get their license back so they could drive legally, because if you're not driving legally, one, that's a problem. Two, you can get a ticket, you can get arrested, your car can get towed. So I want people to be driving properly and legally, because I don't want you to get a ticket, I don't want your car to get towed. So please make sure that if you have a ticket, it is a sensitive topic. You can go into warrant if you don't take care of that ticket. So one of the firms that we're dealing with is Ticket Busters, and I highly recommend you calling them. If you have a ticket, you think you're in warrant, they could run your name just to make sure that you don't have any warrants. And if you do, they'll take care of it for you. And it's a very reasonable cost as well. So I do highly recommend you guys jumping on that as well. We are going to jump into a quick commercial break in the next minute. When we get back, I have a special person that I know for the last maybe almost, could be almost 4 years. And it's a very special person that works with Northwest Career College. And it's going to be Lisa Myers when we get back joining us to talk about what she's doing in the community to basically helping people probably be, ready for their future so they can have employment, and helping them basically, have a future. And then with that being said, they're going to be those people that she's helping. Those people are going to help other people once they get their certificate program to basically help within the legal community, which a lot of people need in general. So we'll be back in a quick minute. I want to thank my sponsors. And when we get back, Lisa Myers will be joining with us.
Another day in Nevada, and we're lucky enough to call it home. The world knows us for our entertainment, but the best part about living here is the everyday people of our communities. And when one of us gets injured in an accident, well, I guess you could say it's personal. We fight for the people of Nevada every day. The Richard Harris Law Firm at 444-4444, just in case.
I recommend the defenders because they say what they're going to do and they do what they say.
You're the client, they're working for you, the attorney is your attorney.
I am very impressed with the relationship the Defenders has with their clients, and I hope to continue working with them.
It's not just signing people up, getting clients. It's we're going to take care of your problems, and they care about people.
Neither one of us are giving a handout to those people so that they could take advantage, but both of us are giving them that massive hand up.
From the moment I came into the office, everyone working at the front desk was super nice, and just made me feel like I was at home.
When you call, you know that they're working for you and that they want the best for you.
Universal Motor Cars, your one-stop shop for all things auto, service, body repair, collision repair, free towing with repair, all under one roof. State-of-the-art paint equipment and facilities, trained certified technicians, lifetime warranty on paint. Universal Motor Cars accepts all insurance. Over 10 years in business. LVAC members receive 10% off labor. Call 702-754-6774.
Welcome back to The Problem Solver. It's 11:17 on Tuesday in Las Vegas, and today I am with a very special person. Today at The Problem Solver Show, I am here with Lisa Myers from Northwest Career College. Lisa, thank you so much for joining. I know it was kind of last minute, and I appreciate you joining the show today.
Of course. For you, David, anything. I am very honored to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
So as I was saying before the quick break, that we know each other for quite some time, and we're always working together to basically help people in general. But I figured, I wanted to have you on the show. This was kind of a little bit more last minute. But you were on my list because you're very important to me, and we've always worked together in the community. And I don't think people, really appreciate sometimes all the work that we're doing to basically help law firms and even the community. So I wanted to bring you on. So it's a great time for it anyway. But Lisa, tell us about yourself. Tell us about you from Vegas, where you're from, and then tell us about, what you do for Northwest Career College.
Sure. Thank you so much, David, again. So I began my education pre-med, and so my focus was basically in medicine and my education and experience. And then I transitioned to the the legal field, and basically I just, got my experience just from the ground up. Paralegal, senior paralegal, did some office managing for various law firms here in Las Vegas. I've also worked with law firms in Canada and the UK, which was an interesting experience. I completed a fellowship, not only here in Nevada, but also back in Washington, D.C. I had the opportunity of working with the legislators so assemblymen, congressmen, senators. It was a great experience, both within our wonderful state of Nevada, but then also back east. So I really gained some really great experience within those fields.
I feel bad because I was working on this yesterday a little bit, and I was reading
Yes.
your bio, and I never really read your bio. I apologize.
That's okay.
And,
you did now.
We're always working together. We're always kind of hustling the day to basically make things
Yeah.
happen. And I was reading your bio, and I said, really didn't know that you worked for several different law firms and so on. So how many years did you work in law firms?
So I've been in the legal field for over 20 years now here in Las Vegas.
You look like you're 26.
You're very sweet.
So you
Thank you
started
very
when you were
much.
6?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, we will say that. Sure. Of course, I will take the compliment.
So over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
It's a long time.
It is. It's quite a feat. Yes.
And then how many different law firms did you work for?
Let's see. Outcontracted for Clark County. And I worked for civil litigation firms, family law firms, federal firms. So a good handful, I will say.
And
I don't have the exact number.
So as I was reading your bio, so your title at Northwest Career College is?
It has been the Director of Legal Studies, and then we've kind of branched out a bit as we're growing, which is a really great thing. And so now, as of this year, I am the Program Chair for the Criminal Justice Program, as well as the Department Chair for our General Education Department.
When I feel, even though I was a police officer for 17 years, that whenever it says like criminal, like it sounds so negative, but like, most of the people that I've dealt with, a lot of false allegations in general.
Right.
I think it has this negative stigma a little bit. Like when we say criminal justice, like
Right.
people think, we're trying to help the criminals, right? I mean,
No.
people make mistakes, and you've been around for 20 years
Sure.
doing this, and you actually focus on training people to basically help others. But
Yes.
again, I mean, you have the right to representation and so on and so on. But
Absolutely.
So what made you get with Northwest Career College specifically?
That's a great question. So I've known the Kenny family for quite some time, and those are the family is the owners of the Northwest College. And Northwest Career College is absolutely incredible. So Dr. John Kenny actually started the college as a massage school. And it truly just grew from there. And we have a number of campuses. I believe we're up to about 6 right now. And with
Is that locally?
Locally, yes.
So 6 campuses locally.
6 separate campuses
Okay.
locally, yes. Mainly focused in the Northwest. We're hoping to branch out, of course, as we grow and improve. Our focus has been in massage therapy, medical assisting, dental assisting. We have phlebotomy, pharm tech. Our criminal justice program, of course, paralegal studies, and legal assisting, business administration. So we have so many programs.
So I feel like these days, when we drive by, there's a lot more colleges out there. Would you say your school is more, just to educate me, maybe some of the listeners,
Sure.
is it more vocational?
It is.
Okay.
We are a vocational college. Now we have 2 degree programs currently, which is our criminal justice and paralegal studies program. The rest of our programs are certificate programs. So you're ranging from, a few months all the way up to about 18 months for completion in any of those programs. But we do focus on hands-on experience.
So certificate programs plus the criminal justice, the paralegal, and what's the other one?
The criminal justice and the paralegal studies program are our degree programs. They're associate degree
Associate
programs.
degrees, okay. And is there, after the associates, can they go further, or they would have to go to another school after if they wanted to do more?
Right, so they would transfer to another school. We do have great relationships with DeVry University, with Grand Canyon University, the National Paralegal College in Arizona, and they offer just a plethora of programs there for bachelor's, master's, and then some of our students have actually went on to law school,
Okay.
which is really, really wonderful. We're
So
proud
at
of
your
them.
campus is basically up to 2 years is what you could do at your school.
Correct.
These different programs. Okay. So it seems like since I know you, the criminal justice paralegal program is basically kind of rising. Like, what's your thoughts about that? Like, how many students do you have, or how long has that been going on?
So right now in our criminal justice program, we have just under 100 students. We have had this program. It's still kind of in its infancy. We've had this program for about 2 years now. So it is a little trial and error, just trying to figure out what's best for the students, what's working best for them, what are the trends, what do they need to know to get out, in the field and really succeed and be really well prepared. So we are seeing an upswing in students that really want a degree and that knowledge in the criminal justice field.
So it's paralegal. It's also legal assistant.
Legal assistant,
And then what's the other one?
criminal justice,
And what's the criminal justice? Just associates in criminal justice?
correct.
And where would somebody go with the criminal? Like, what do you see? Like, what do the people that are in the criminal justice program? What do you see that they want to do? Like, what do they want to do in the future? Is it police? Is it?
It's, we're seeing 3 main pathways, which is security or private security. We're seeing policing, so law enforcement, whether it's with NHP, Metro, Henderson PD, or maybe private policing with the colleges. And then, we're also seeing another avenue, which is corrections.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, a lot of these, a lot of the different law enforcement wants like 30 credits or 60 credits in general, which is important. So the associate's degree is 60 credits?
It is not. It's nearly 100. It's 96.
Wow. Okay, 96 credits. Okay. One thing to share with you, which I don't know if you've looked into as well, but so when I came out to be a police officer in Henderson, there were people that could pay to be in the police academy, and they would get credits with CSN. And I never heard this from New York City. You can't do that. So I know that in New York City, there was a college called John Jay College where you can go get, you could actually take your police academy credits if you go to the police academy, bring it over to John Jay College, and you could actually help get your full degree. Because a lot of times you would get like 60 credits from a police academy. But I'm not sure if you ever, people that want to be police, mixing, the associate's degree plus the police academy, mixing them together, whether or not they can get their full degree. I'm not sure if you guys looked into that, but I think it's a rarity. But we did have people that basically were in the academy. They paid to go. I think it was like $2,000-$3,000, but it didn't mean, that you basically automatically become a police officer. But you could apply and say, look, I have this certificate. I think it was Southern Nevada Law Enforcement Academy, SNLEA at the time. So it'd be interesting to kind of mix those together if someone wanted to go into policing to help them with the degree. But anyway, we can talk about that in the future. But you're making me think of that.
We've had talks. We definitely have talks.
Okay. So the programs basically are expanding. A lot of locations in the Valley in general. So what do you specifically do for the school? Like, what's your daily function? You wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee. You call me. No, I'm joking.
I do, always.
What are you doing every single day? Give us a vision of what your day is like.
Day in the life of
Day in the life
Lisa.
of Lisa
Oh
Myers.
gosh. Okay, it's very busy. So I do wake up. I do have
Make
a
sure
cup
you
of
add
coffee.
extra stuff because people could be listening.
Right.
Okay.
Just pat it a little bit. Okay. No, I keep quite busy. So basically, I manage the programs.
Okay.
I make sure that first and foremost, honestly, most importantly, that our students are happy, they're thriving, that we have these amazing class sessions that are scheduled for them. We have a really strong, very relative curriculum, and they're engaged and they're excited. So typical day in the life is just making sure that classes start on time. Students are in their classes. If they're not, where are they? How can we help? How can we support them? Making sure that our faculty are well prepared, they're in the class, that they're engaging with the students, educating them well, that classes are going well. After classes, just making sure that, students have that support. We've transitioned from tutoring sessions to workshops. Workshops have more of a positive connotation, to them. And so setting up those workshops, making sure that the students are really learning each of those labs. So we do have all of those lab activities. We do have field activities. So just basically making sure everything runs smoothly, effectively, efficiently, and again, the students are happy and succeeding and really enjoying their experience.
So you meet with different students on a daily basis. What do you see any people come to you and say, I'm not really sure about the program, or I want to go into something different, or I don't think law enforcement's for me, or I don't think I want to work in a law firm? Do you do a lot of counseling as well?
Of course, absolutely, because we want to make sure that the students are on the right path. We're not forcing them into this career. This is a career that they've selected. This is a career that they've had an interest in for one reason or the other. So we really have those talks with them. The first 2 weeks is their probationary period. And it's to make sure that, they're a good fit for our school, and that, we're a good fit in turn for them. And so we really look at, assessing how they're doing, how they're liking the program. Are you loving the program? What can I do to make it better? And so we counsel them, we ask questions, see how they're doing. Some of our students will say, I don't think the criminal justice field or paralegal or dental, I don't think it's for me, maybe something else. So then we really match them up with admissions and, help to kind of, give them all that information needed to make the best choice for their career. But I really like the first 2 week probationary period. Probationary period, sometimes comes with a negative connotation, but it's really not. It's that 2 weeks for them to kind of dip their toes into it and really explore and see if this is the right career path for them. And if it isn't, that's okay. And I've had students where they've succeeded through the entire program, whether it's PL, so paralegal, or criminal justice. But with criminal justice, they may go into law. So they may go in the legal field. And then with paralegal, some of our students will then go into maybe the criminal justice field. So we've seen,
transition.
Yes, we've seen kind of the crossover between the two as well. Even for medical, I have a number of students that have a background in the medical field as medical assisting or maybe phlebotomist or such, but they're making the transition into the legal field. And with that, and I'm sure you're aware, especially with PI cases, they're taking that knowledge and experience with medical and transitioning that into legal so they can review all those medical records. They can have an understanding. They can go ahead and, they already have those connections in the field with connecting with, different offices and getting those records they've subpoenaed or expert witnesses. So it really does help having that medical background to really fuel your, criminal justice or just overall your legal career.
Okay, that's great. The bottom line is that I know that you're a very caring person, that you're meeting with the students, and basically you want the best for them. You want them to be happy in the program. And I know that we had some interns that I used to work with you in regards, and if they weren't happy, that you wanted to place them somewhere else or teach them and let them have some learning lessons in general. Because the one thing I will share with you, because I've worked in law firms, is that each law firm is a little bit different where you work, right? So I always try to educate other, paralegals or interns, say every firm is different. Like you may come to one place and say, this place is amazing. And you go to another place, like this place is horrible. And sometimes it's the culture, sometimes it's the leadership of where you go in general. But also you could have a bad experience, but also could be later on you look back and say, that was a great experience I had. I'm glad I went through that, and I'm glad that I'm now doing medical or something different as well.
Absolutely.
So, if anybody has any questions for Lisa, we're going to go to break in about a minute, but basically if you have any questions for Lisa or do any shout outs, I do have the podcast live on Northwest Career College in the Facebook group. I placed it there.
Oh my
So if you
goodness.
want to do a shout out, or you basically have a question for Lisa about any of the vocational programs, she is more of a, I would say, specialist in more of the legal field and criminal justice and so on. But if you have any questions, you can call 329-6947. That's 702-329-6947. And the 800 number is 855-502-4321, 855-502-4321. We're going to have a quick commercial break for some of the sponsors that I appreciate sponsoring the show. And then when we come back, we're going to get into a few more questions with Lisa. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Activated. Welcome back to The Problem Solver. Thank you for joining us again. Welcome again. Problem Solver again, theproblemsolver.vegas. If you want to go to the Progressive web app, look at the podcast, partake in any of the, if you want to meet, merchandise, sharing, reviews, resources, all these bunch of tabs on the app itself that you need some help. The Problem Solver and several problem solvers that are basically working now to basically help people with certain problems or to refer you to the right place, the right nonprofit, the right attorney, whatever we can do to basically help out. We are 24/7. It is a free service. The cell phone number and number for Problem Solver is 702-400-7474. Again, 400-7474. And the Problem Solver, like I said, is working with several different law firms that are basically getting some help, whether it's for free, whether it's discounted, whether, whatever we could do to basically help out. We may just want to guide you in the right direction. It's not always about the money. But again, the Problem Solver in general, the app and the service is free to basically guide you to the right people and to the right place. Whatever we could do to basically help out, please let us know. We're back here with Lisa Myers again from Northwest Career College. She's an amazing person. She's been doing this for 20 years, helping people basically through getting associates or vocational certificate program to basically help people for their future, get employment, and to help others once they basically are finished with their program. So again, Lisa, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
And so I had a quick question. So I know with COVID, are things back to normal now? Is it still virtual, or are people coming into the campuses? You have 6 campuses.
That is a great question. So basically with our students, with our particular degree programs, we are online right now. So we are on Zoom offering our classes, and it's been due to the COVID pandemic. However, we are returning to campus. And it's going to be a little adjusted schedule, but we're returning to campus next term. So we have 2 weeks of this term to finish. We have spring break, and then we're returning for our 4/12 term. However, with our shorter programs, our certificate programs, our non-degree programs, our students have returned to campus, which is really exciting. And I think it's so beneficial for them to see our faces and for us to see their faces, and to again resume that one-on-one hands-on experience, but in a very socially distant and very safe manner with all the PEPs.
I think people are excited to basically just get back to school and to work, and they see people. And I always believe that school is a lot of it to socialization, maybe for younger, but even for older, right? You want to interact and talk with people and so on.
Sure.
So I think it's great that things are coming back to, being more normal in general, especially in the classroom setting.
Absolutely.
What is the new trend that you're basically seeing with the school and the students as they're coming back to class in general? I know that, being downtown Las Vegas, people are saying that it's kind of a ghost town, that people aren't there, or the legal community is working from home. Do you see any new trends that are taking place? I know everyone's on Zoom these days, or what do they call it? Blue Jeans, this app, to go into court and stuff like that, I don't know where they get the Blue Jeans from. But what's your take on basically just trends that are going on, I guess, with your program, with your programs, or the whole school?
Well, I think so far as maybe a trend would be that, while we were transitioning from, being on campus to Zoom, some more remote based, and then back to campus again, we're utilizing our online form a little bit more now. We're having the students, record portions of their discussions, their homework. We're having them use technology more. Which is really, I think, is really neat to see. So, we have virtual tours of the courthouse. We have virtual tours of maybe law firms or medical offices, things like that. But we're having the students engage as well using, different resources. Whereas before, we were having them create PowerPoints and helping them online. But I think more so now. Really engaging with them, even the virtual library that we have, the Learn Library, and so many other resources online, whereas before, it's textbooks and things like that, but now we have the ebooks and, the recordings and things like that. So I think that's more on trend now, and I think the students are more comfortable with being on video or recording themselves, or even makeup sessions, meetings. We have those on Zoom, so still obviously socially distanced. We're being, we're remaining in a very safe environment, but students are more comfortable with being online, being on Zoom. So I think that's more in trend.
So you think that, like, if normal classes were 100% normally in the classroom, do you think the trend is that, like, maybe 25% would be virtual, just to save?
Well, I know for us with our general education department, our gen ed courses, psychology, math, English, those are all online until, we return to campus. But, even when we return to campus, those are 1 hour sessions. So we're still meeting with students. We're still, engaging with them, even for, workshops, makeup sessions online. So I don't think that's going to go away. And I don't think that we're going to stop, recording our tutorials. Or recording other resources for the students, so that way when they are at home, they can still connect with us, and they can do that in a very convenient manner.
What are your recommendations for people that, there's a lot of schools that are out there and they're not sure where to go? And like I said, I drive down Sahara and I see all these colleges popping up. What makes Northwest Career College so special, besides you and the other people that are there? But what makes, people have so many choices these days. I think people are just confused. I'm like, is that a school? Is that a school? What's your thoughts? Why Northwest Career College? And what would you recommend? What recommendations, if they're interested in the program, that they should come check it out, or or meet with you guys? What's your thoughts about both of those?
Those are great questions.
Sorry to throw it all at you.
No, I will happily answer that. I love Northwest. I absolutely love Northwest, and that is the reason that I left the law firm. And it's because of the family environment. We actually care. These students are not numbers at all. They're part of our family, and and some of them have went on to apply for positions at our college, and we've hired them on, which is really exciting to see because now they're colleagues of ours. So, You know, Northwest is very family, very caring. We really pride ourselves in providing our students with the best education. Really trying to, again, look at the trends, look at what's relative, to what they're going to be doing in the community, in their career. How do we make them successful? How do we make them prepared? So that's what makes our college so special, but it's also the programs that we have. It's not just lecture-based, it's hands-on. So we're taking them out in the field. We're having them help in the community. We're giving them those opportunities. For example, in criminal justice, we have an end-of-the-year goal for them. Now, some of our students will be going on to the academy. They're going to apply for the, let's say Metro, and hopefully, go ahead and get through the academy as well. So we have an end-of-the-year goal where we have the terrain race. Or the Tough Mudder. And it's something really exciting. And I think that's what also sets us apart from the other colleges, because we take the extra time to really focus on what our students need to prepare them, but also for all of these great events in the community, even with Nevada Child Seekers, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Free International, the FBI, working with them, boots on the ground to help recover, victims of abuse or, trafficking, and we get them out in the field. So I think that's what, again, sets us apart, because it's not just the education in class, lecture, the books, the assignments. It's the hands-on experience, giving them those practical skills and the soft skills, but then also having all these opportunities for them.
So how does it work? Because I know we're familiar with the internship program, the externship program. Tell me about those programs. 'Cause to me, I've always wanted to help with I always wanted to pay it forward, because I basically was an intern years ago at a hospital, and I had a mentor, and it was a great experience. I look back on it, which I felt helped me. And luckily, there was a woman named Claire Natel, who's the assistant administrator, and she kind of took me under her wing, and I learned a bunch from her. So I always want to pay it forward. That's why I'm very pro-intern. And it's not about replacing someone else with work. I want to give someone an experience that's also excited and eager to learn and to get a different experience. But tell me about those programs that you have with your, with the paralegal and is it just paralegal and the criminal justice, or both?
It's actually both, but also all of our other programs offer externships,
Okay.
which is really important. So first, I want to thank you for all of the opportunities you've provided, not only to our college, but most importantly, our students, because they've really they've experienced so much, but enjoyed their experiences with you and with Harris's law firm and some others. So I really appreciate all of your support too.
No problem.
With our students, though, we do have internships and externships. With the internships for paralegal, we've had our students intern within the law firms, which it's really important. So they really gain that experience of being in the field. It's that real world experience. It takes them out of the classroom, even outside of their hands-on experience with us, out of their comfort zone, and puts them into something very unique and very real. So I think that's important. With our externships, some of our students will go ahead and go on to externships after they've completed their studies. Then they go into a medical office, different offices, organizations, firms, and they gain that experience as well.
So how does it work with, I guess the big question is, in regards to money, if people don't have money, how does it work for the average person that comes in, they don't have money, they can apply for a student loan? How does it work these days? Because I'm lost with that now.
So our college is wonderful. So with our college, the process is that they can call, they can go online, they can go into, come onto campus, speak with our admissions representatives. They're also paired up with a financial aid representative, and both of those departments are absolutely amazing. So big, huge shout outs to our admissions team and our financial aid team, and truly our college, all of our employees and faculty. But with financial aid, though, we're not just looking at, just the basic areas of financial aid and support, but we really branch out and we really help our students. We're also constantly notifying them of any scholarships, and then with the CARES Act, it's phenomenal what our college, really does to support our students.
How does the CARES Act, I'm not sure if you're that knowledgeable about it all a little bit, it's just helping, it's funding?
It is. It definitely helps our students. Now, for additional information, I would definitely defer to Dr. Stephanie Kenny and our finance department for some, ins and outs of that, because I am not an expert on that.
The bottom line is you guys at Northwest Career College will work to basically help
Absolutely.
somebody that wants to basically be a program to basically get an education, so
Absolutely.
they can get a job and employment, and for the future basically be a productive person in society. So I definitely want to start referring more people to you guys in
Thank
general.
you.
We're going to go for a quick commercial break. It's the last commercial break. And I want to thank the sponsors this week. It's basically the Richard Harris Law Firm. It's Ticket Busters, The Defenders, Universal Motor Cars. Basically, these sponsors are basically helping with the weekly broadcasting of the show. So I want to thank those sponsors. We're going to do a quick minute commercial break, and then we'll be right back.
Meet Joe. Joe's a very busy guy. He's always driving from work to meet friends. And sometimes Joe's in a hurry and doesn't follow all the rules. Joe just got a traffic ticket. Traffic tickets are a major hassle. You have to take time off work to go to court and stand in long lines. A couple days later, Joe saw his friend Matt. Joe tells Matt about his traffic ticket troubles. Another traffic ticket? Just call Ticket Busters. Ticket Busters? Well, what's Ticket Busters? Ticket Busters is the quick and easy traffic ticket solution with licensed attorneys. Ticket Busters went right to work for Joe's ticket. Ticket Busters did all the work, saving Joe time and stress. A few weeks later, Joe receives a call from Ticket Busters, and his traffic ticket has been resolved with no points, no traffic school, and no insurance increase. Ticket Busters helped Joe bust his ticket, and Ticket Busters can help you too. Go to ticketbusters.com, download our app, or call 702-666-6666.
Another day in Nevada, and we're lucky enough to call it home. The world knows us for our entertainment, but the best part about living here is the everyday people of our communities. And when one of us gets injured in an accident, well, I guess you could say it's personal. We fight for the people of Nevada every day. The Richard Harris Law Firm at 444-4444, just in case.
Welcome back to The Problem Solver. It is 11:48 on Tuesday. We are here with Lisa Myers from Northwest Career College. We're going in for the last 11 minutes, giving her 100 questions. Interview and interrogation. We should get a spotlight over at Lisa.
Right.
Get a spotlight over there.
Okay, I can handle it. I can handle it.
So you're doing an amazing job. Just trying to
thank
get some
you.
great information, and I really do appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you helping the community, because I know those
thank
people
you.
that you're helping are basically going to help others in the future. And there's a lot of compassionate people at the Northwest Career College. I've been there. I've seen your interns in general, and I know that you're caring and they're caring. So that's why I'm always coming back to you and say, hey, do you have interns? Can we help? Can we work together? Because I know it's a great program, and I'm proud to be part of the alumni program of Northwest Career College.
Thank you.
I feel like in the future I should speak, have like Obama. He speaks at these big, things in general, have a tassel.
Love it.
So anyway, so tell us about a success story, something that our listeners will be surprised to hear. I don't know if there's any surprising things or a cool impact, basically, that you've helped certain students. I mean, good, bad, ugly in general. Any stories that you'd want to share that sticks out where you've helped somebody, they got an associate's degree or they went to the paralegal school, they're very happy. Any story that would come to mind?
Well, I think in general, just to keep anonymity and what have you, but in general, we have students that have really struggled with housing. And, despite struggling with housing, struggling with, death or deaths in their family, especially this past year with COVID, with some of those students, I think between our support and just building their confidence, knowing that they have somebody in their corner, really rallying, cheering them on, it's really helped them to progress, making sure that they're confident in themselves, that they know that they can do it, they believe in themselves. So there are a few students that, come to mind that have really had those challenges and struggles, not just the past year, but over the past, few years. We've seen those students, come through, and, we've made really great progress with them. We've had really great relationships with them, and they've really succeeded through all of their turmoils. They've managed to really, just sail through and push through. And now with those particular students in mind, they're succeeding in their field. And it's really wonderful to see. A few of them have went on to get married, have children, and really succeed and promote within the industry. And we've remained in great contact with those students, and to see them succeeding in the field, it just warms your heart. It's just to have to play a small role in that, to be a part of that. That's amazing. That's what life is all about. I think.
Agree. I always say at the end of the night, you want to go to sleep. Like, I helped these people, I did this for this person, and you feel good at night in general. And then you start another day. Right. And you start helping other people.
Exactly, of course.
How do people get in touch with you in general? If they want to speak with you, if they want to meet with you, what is your number, your contact, and what's the main office address?
Sure. So the main office number is 702-254-7577. That is our main number to Northwest Career College. We also have a website, northwestcareercollege.com. And then we're all over social media with NCC, Northwest. We love to get out there in the community and kind of, show our college off and our students and our staff and faculty, because we just love it. And we're so proud. So my number specifically is the main number, 702-254-7577. I am at extension 303, but you can certainly ask for Lisa Myers in the criminal justice or general education departments. I'm over at the legal center, which is just off of Prairie Falcon in the Northwest, right around the corner from Mountain View Hospital. Our main campus is 7398 Smoke Ranch Road, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89128. That's right off the corner of Tenaya and Smoke Ranch. We're right in the medical district, so you can't miss us. We're a big 2-story building, and we have a number of buildings around us, including our massage clinic. So I want to give a little shout out to our massage clinic. If anybody out there would like an amazing massage, whether it's stone or just a really great Swedish massage, we have our students in there training, and it's a beautiful building, relaxing, calming. So please come by, take a look.
That's great. So I'm glad. I want people to get in touch with you. I am going to add you onto my resources tab at theproblemsolver.vegas. So if people want to basically get in contact with you, we'll add your information basically for school programs in general. So
thank you.
Refer them over to you. What I want to share with you as well is that, we're doing the podcast weekly show, and a lot of the resources that I have in my database in general, like, if people need housing or they need any help, I like to be more of a resource. I know before I was trying to basically help with getting some of your students in the internship program with different law firms that I've been dealing with over the last few years. But if anyone has a problem, I'd like to basically help. I do have some different people with housing. I have all these different resources, so I want to be able to be more of a resource. And they can always call or text me at any time, and I can refer them to different places.
That's wonderful.
And again, so whether it's Northwest Career College, whether it's students, alumni, anybody in general that can help out, especially if there's any legal matters, because I'm working with so many law firms in general. So if there's an accident case or injury or someone gets a traffic ticket, I like to help out, especially these criminal defense cases. People get traffic tickets and they go into warrant, and I really hate that because I feel bad. A lot of good people out there, and they just forget about the ticket, and it goes into warrant, and basically next thing they get arrested, and then it starts this cycle, which I dislike personally.
Right.
So tell us about some of the law firms that you work with, because you do these externship programs. Any shout outs that you want to do for any law firms that you work with? And then we could tell people, if you are a law firm that's listening, or we could have other law firms partake, especially now with things opening up. Maybe they want some interns basically, within the law firm. It doesn't cost them any money, and they're sharing an experience that basically, and you never know, you may wind up with an employee in the future as well. So tell us what law firms have you recently worked with in the last 24 months?
So a huge supporter of ours is, of course, the Richard Harris Law Firm. We love the law firm and everybody that works there. They've been absolutely amazing with their support with our students. So I thank them greatly. And then also Mace Yampowski and Jason Margolis. They're partners now in Mace's law firm. And Mace has been amazing. He even created a PowerPoint for our students to just basically explain the perspective of, criminal procedure from the perspective of the criminal defense attorney. And he also comes in on a regular basis to guest speak, but he also has not only offered internships to our students, both criminal justice and paralegal, but also has hired a number of our students that are still currently working with his law firm. And the experience at his firm is amazing. He takes them to court. They sit second chair. They work on all these cases. It's an incredible experience. So Macy Umpaski, definitely. He's wonderful. Also Robert Kurth. Now, Robert Kurth is one of our adjunct faculty at our college, but he also is a sole practitioner. So he is a licensed practicing attorney here in town, and it's Robert Kurth, Esquire, and he has offered internships to our students, but then also has employed a number of our students that are still currently working for his law firm, which is wonderful. And there's so many others.
So if any law firm that's out there, if you're an attorney basically listening as well, you want an intern basically in your law firm to basically share that work experience and to help a fellow person for their future, in the legal community, basically Northwest Career College and Lisa would be able to help them in general. I really appreciate you sharing all this great information. It will be shared among, 40, 50, 100 different groups, on the social web in general. I wanted to share kind of following up a little bit with the stuff that I'm doing for the Problem Solver. For every single month, basically, we're working with different nonprofits, and this month is St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And basically, if people want to help fundraise, there's probably about, I don't know, there's 10 days left in the month or whatever it is. But basically, I've really been really busy for the month, and I'm trying to get the word out. And I'm going to be basically asking some community members and leaders to basically make a donation to St. Jude's. I'm going to send people the link because for a great cause. They're helping people in the community. They're helping children basically overcome, great illness that's out there in general. So St. Jude is the nonprofit for the month. I'm also selling some merchandise, which is the T-shirts that I wear, the Problem Solver shirt, where I think it's $14 or $17 is being donated to St. Jude's as well if you want our shirt as well. So there's different things we're basically doing. So St. Jude is this month for, trying to raise money. I will send out some links. I'm going to have some stuff for the remainder of the month as well. So if anybody wants to help out, I would appreciate that. Again, the Problem Solver .Vegas app is always available to any, Northwest Career College students and alumni. If they have any problems, they can go there. If they want to meet with me one-on-one as well, basically I'm trying to meet with people and also guide them. I share my experience by basically working, in law firms in general. And I think my experiences are valuable in general because I'm not an attorney. Being a retired police officer, serving 17 years and working in law firms, I think I have a different perspective in regards to it. And normally when I share my knowledge to some of your students, they get kind of blown away a little bit, and it's a different perspective. But anyway, so I appreciate, Lisa, you for joining today. Every single week we have someone special like yourself basically coming on the show to help people. You are solving problems in the community. We appreciate what you're doing. You are helping it pay it forward as well with all these students in the future are going to be helping other people. So again, I appreciate you coming today on the Problem Solver Show. And if anybody needs some help, please get in touch with Lisa. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next week on the Problem Solver, Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great week.